got your start? When you moved to LA, or just let's start with when you started singing. How old were you?
Um, my first performance was I was in elementary. We did my music teacher, Miss Maxie, took notice and started letting me do it. I was very shy, and anybody who knows me knows that I still am now. When it comes to singing, I was very shy as a young kid, and Miss Maxie, my music teacher, I think I was in between third and fifth grade, and she took notice. We put a program on, and I did Jesus is Love. And there was this football player there by the name of Billy White Shoes Johnson, who came, and he was being honored that day. We did Jesus is Love, and I kind of got used to it and said I could do this. But jumping a little bit further from elementary on to young adulthood, I had met Kevon and Melvin Edmonds, the great late Melvin Edmonds from After Seven.
Yeah.
Doing a promo. They just released their record, and met them. And Melvin told me, if you want to be a singer, I had a demo that I gave to him, and Melvin said, if you're a singer, you should come to Atlanta. Right now, Atlanta is the mecca with all of the music going on. So a couple of months later, a good friend, Natalie Burks, and myself, who I went to high school with, who was a wonderful singer, arranger, piano player. She and I drove to Atlanta. We left and drove to Atlanta. When I got to Atlanta, when I got here, I started working at Macy's, and Natalie was working at JCPenney. We were at Cumberland Mall in Atlanta, and we would get these records like Pebbles Records, Babyface Records, and we would look on the back of the CDs and see, okay, this was done at this studio. We go to the phone book, look up the address, and it's two shy girls a chance, trying to run into somebody just to give us a chance. And it just so happens we were late for a meeting with Gene Griffin one day, the late Gene Griffin, who was a Teddy Riley guy.
Yeah.
And we missed him by 5 minutes, and there was a studio next door, and we were peeking in the window. This guy came and said, I can let you guys in. And we were young girls, only even 21, 20, barely 20. And we said, well, wait a minute, we're not doing any tricks for trade. We're not doing any of that. So he said, oh, no. So just by chance, the guy, he took us to the back. In the back of the studio, there was this huge room in the studio with a grand piano, favorite grand piano. And there was this guy, Dennis Austin. And the guy, Kat, said, you got to meet these two young ladies. They're from Texas. And he says, Texas, huh? He was like, what part of Texas? I was like, I'm from Houston. So he mentioned some folks. And I said, it's funny you say that. I said, that's my cousin. He said, well, your cousin is the mother of my son. So he had us audition, and Natalie was the only child, and she was kind of homesick. Things weren't moving fast enough for her. And I begged her to stay, and Natalie decided to leave. And it just so happens that Dennis called about maybe 2 days after Natalie left and said, hey, I am the musical director for Bobby Brown, and Bobby's about to go do a tour in Japan, and I want you to come. So that's kind of how it started. 3 months after me moving to Atlanta, having that opportunity to get started so soon, and it was a sort of domino effect from there. After Bobby, there was Pebbles, there was Babyface, there were tours, there was BB&CC Winans. Wow. There was a host of studio sessions. Name got around that I was a young girl, the new girl in town from Texas, who was in Atlanta doing some work, and kind of started there, from the grace of God, and just stepping out on faith. For someone to be so shy, my family teased me when I stepped into Atlanta to sing, because they was like, you're not going to go there and sing. You never sing. You don't even sing around here. So, that kind of gave the push, and just left to be able to. Trey and I were roommates, and I was already going out to Jermaine. I think Trey was signed to Social Def, and Trey had already been going out there doing sessions for him. So Jermaine asked him if I would be interested in coming to do some demo work for him, and I was like, yeah. So we would go out there maybe 5 or 6, sometimes 7 times a week working. Jermaine would call at 12:30 at night, and Trey would come across the hall and tap on the hey, Jermaine wants to come, like, let's go. And you know how crazy Trey is. I did a demo. I did a demo, and Trey passed it to Jermaine. And Jermaine called me about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning and said, hey, I got your demo. If you can help it, I really don't want you to pass it around to anybody else. I'd like you to take a meeting with me. Can you come by tomorrow? And I said, sure. So I go to the meeting the next day, and we're talking. And what I have to credit Jermaine with, also what I asked for going into the deal, was creative control. I wanted to have creative control And the second thing that I asked for at that time was a personal trainer. And he said, I don't care about this. I care about this. And I said, well, I want to do this. I want to be healthy. And Jermaine got me a personal trainer. Jermaine gave me the creative control. Of course, he was still involved in it also, but he let me make a lot of decisions. And I have to give thanks for that, because at the time, a lot of women were not getting that, creative control from the door to walk in and say, I'm not going to do it if I can't, have some say so. So I have to give him the credit for allowing that. The journey was great. My first session was with Mr. Warren Campbell. Jermaine said, I have this producer out in LA who's pretty good. And he sent me a song. I said, okay, cool. So I'm flipping around a little bit. We were into the album a little bit, kind of dibbling and dabbling with some things. And I go to New York for a photo shoot. Mm-hmm. And Zinga, who was my makeup artist at the time for the photo shoot, for the album photo shoot, had a stack of CDs. And she said, what do you want to listen to before we get started? So I look through the pack. There's Maxwell. There's a few other people. And I see Rashawn Patterson's CD. And I said, I said, can you play that one? And from the very first song, I said, okay. So I said, can you pass me that CD cover? So I looked on the back of it. And at the time, Millicent Hunt was my manager. And I said, Millicent, can you call Jermaine and let him know that I want to go to LA and work with Rashawn Patterson? So it was because of Nzinga, who was a makeup artist who had a stack of CDs. And I was instantly drawn to Rashawn's CD before I even heard the music.
Don't you miss that? Don't you miss the CDs?
Yeah.
Just seeing this. Oh, that's another workshop. Go ahead.
I did. We talked about that, when they closed the stores and the camaraderie of people just kind of coming together and meeting. And, you could see a complete stranger in the record store and they say, hey, have you heard so-and-so, so-and-so? I mean, just the communication and just the human touch of it all or whatever. But,
the lyrics, the credit, all that,
Everything,
the musicians who play the horns, the strings,
everything,
the mix.
Everything. So, Jermaine, we were almost done with the album. Jermaine said, you sure you want to go to LA? I said, I am positive I want to go to LA and work with this guy, Rashawn Patterson. Well, we get to LA and Rashawn picks me up. We kind of vibe, and he comes in. I'm at Jamie Jazz's place first, the great Jamie Jazz, who has worked on many. Hey, Jamie.
Yeah.
I was there with Jamie before Rashawn came, and Rashawn came maybe about an hour later. I was really nervous, but for some reason, the minute we took a moment to go outside and speak and talk, that was it. We have been connected from that day. From that
time. I'm losing my mind, right?
And, right. And from that, Rashawn wrote that. I told Rashawn where I was at that time. I had been in a relationship about 10, 11 years on and off. And I told Rashawn what was going on. And Rashawn wrote that song about 5 or 10 minutes, literally. And that was the beginning of everything. And since from that point on, I was very comfortable going back and forth to LA working. And it turned into but not only with a working relationship, it turned into a family affair. And it still remains that way today. Yep. Definitely my brother. I told Rashawn I would, we're definitely family. Rashawn is definitely my brother.
Yeah. My first tour, actually, and kind of the same story, but yeah, he is definitely, helped pave the way for a lot of us to travel and just, see the world.
Absolutely.
Yep. Wow. So you have the So Deaf. And then you did the Love Jones soundtrack. I don't know if a lot of you all know this, but she, did Inside My Love on the Love Jones soundtrack. Inside My Love. Sang it, Ting.
Story, at that time, Trey and I, as I mentioned earlier, Trey and I were roommates. And Trey was really responsible for helping me, like I said, construct songs, go in the studio. Still to this day, as long as I've been, I'm much better. But I'm much more comfortable on stage as opposed to being in the studio. It's a phobia that I have been feeling for years. But I will say I've got much better with it this go around. Mm-hmm. But it was Jermaine. I can't remember verbatim, but Jermaine called and said, "Hey," it was once again Jermaine and his late night phone calls. Jermaine called late one night, about maybe 1, 2 o'clock, and he says, "Hey, we got this soundtrack we're working on, and there's one last slot on it. He said, and it's the Minnie Riperton cover song. You know that song, Minnie, Inside My Love? I was like, yeah, I know it. You know, Minnie's one of my favorites besides The Emotions coming up. I'm very familiar with all the Minnie Riperton songs. And he said, we want you to do it. And I said, Jermaine, I can't hit those notes like Minnie. I said, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I'll do a song if you can't do that. So I said, well, let me think. He said, Trina, you know, but the thing is, if we need you to do it because we have to turn this song in tomorrow. This is the last slot, and it's got to be finished tomorrow.
Ooh.
And I said, well, Jermaine, let me call you back. So I go knock on Trey's door, and hey, that was Jermaine that just called, and he wants me to do some soundtrack. And, you know, once again, green, you know, not really know. And I said, you know, I said, Trey, I don't want to do it. He said, no, Trey said, because, you know, at the time, you know, soundtracks were the thing. And he said, He said, you need to call him back and tell him you're going to do it. He said, you don't have to do it like me. Just do it your way. So it was Trey who got on the phone and made all the phone calls to the musicians late at night. Trey pretty much prepped that session for us the next day. We went in the next day. We had Lil John Roberts. We had Trey Gilbert. We had Alton, I think Israel Embry, Marcus Jefferson. It was a host of people who really came in and helped us out. Please forgive me. The names of the horn players escape me. Not really sure, but it was and this particular studio that we recorded at, they had just opened, and I was their first client. That was I can't believe I can't remember the name of this.
Only been 30 years.
Pretty popular.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, but we did it, and we recorded the music at that particular studio, and then we went to Jermaine's house and did the vocals, Troy and I, and we had a blast, and we got it done. Phil Tan, great recording engineer, did the mixing, and the rest is history. Thank you to Jermaine and Trey, and just particularly for both of them, Jermaine taking a chance on me doing it and believing in me, and Trey encouraging me to go in and do it, you know. So here we are, I guess, 30 years later, and people still love it.
Still love it.
Like I said, as a fan of Minnie Riperton, and I'm grateful, even personally, just to still have people say how much they enjoy it.
Yeah, still. Yeah, we got some people out there. That's Selena and Sybil, Tonette, Ruth, and my auntie Pam. Hey, Pam. Yeah, we in here talking about it. Our lives here. We all, we came to LA. I think everybody has on the couch story when they first moved to LA, and we started off. We had dreams to be an artist, but we started off as background singers. So from what I'm hearing, you were on tour with Pebbles, Bobby Brown, Whitney,
Patty Austin.
Who?
Patty Austin.
You were on tour with Patty Austin? The Queen?
I did some dates with Patty Austin.
See, I didn't even know that about you.
Well, of course, you're posting J-Lo.
We did J-Lo. That was so much fun. Beyonce.
Great.
Wait.
Yes.
Do you remember when we auditioned? We auditioned for Beyonce. That was probably twice. We had to do a video, I think. Frank Gatson had us do a video. Which album was that? I think that's when she first came out, though, right?
I think it was when they were doing Cater to You. I remember sitting with Trey, Marianne, and Tika in New York. I actually went to New York. At the time, Trey had left Atlanta and moved to New York, and Trey was like, "You should come down here." So we were learning Cater to You. We were learning something else. Yeah. But I was speaking to someone earlier, and we were talking about Beyonce, and she just said, "It's not a great thing." And let me just say this:
say it.
This young lady is definitely a master of her craft. I mean, we're not talking about just a pretty face with the pretty. We're talking about this young lady walked in rehearsal. This was a 12-hour day rehearsal. The young lady walked in. She had on boots and
She don't play. She had on what?
She walked in some riding boots, and we had already been there maybe about an hour before her. But when she came in, she switched into her heels so she could do the routine. Oh. And I tell everybody, what you see live is what you see during rehearsal. I mean, you saw the Coachella behind the scenes. That is true. She's a workaholic to the point where we worked so much until the drummer had to say, "Hey, I got to take a break. My hands are bleeding." not that she's a slave driver or anything like that, but she's a perfectionist, and she gets kind of lost in the car. Not even she's in it. I'm not gonna say lost, but she's in it until she doesn't even realize there's other people around her, which is not a bad thing, you know. But her work ethic is supreme. What you see live is what you see behind the scenes. Sweet girl, professional, took very good care of her.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's the experience that I had with when we did J-Lo. All she kept saying was saying again, again, again. And I was like, wow. And she danced, just kept dancing and made sure she was just on point. And I had gained a different respect for her because we was tired. Because we was back there killing it. We was tired. We was like, we good. But no, she wanted to, she just kept saying again. So we didn't know we was gonna be in freezing cold.
It was also a pleasure to be with J-Lo because we got to experience Mark Anthony too at the time they were married.
It's true.
You know, Mark Anthony's one of my singers. He was phenomenal. He actually was in rehearsal, kind of directing her also, which was great.
Sure
it was just a great to see all of that, you know, to be a part of it.
Yeah, the partnership was good. It was really good. I remember he was carrying a fur coat. It was freezing in New York at the time. We was out there in 35. 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right after that, when we did the morning show, the Today Show.
Girl, yes.
It was freezing. I think I got the flu right after that.
You got sick? I didn't get sick.
Yeah, I did. I remember being at Ray's house after we finished because I had to do Patty Austin after that. We was because we had some stuff in New York with Patty Austin after we finished Jennifer, and I was sick.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I think I flew back home I think I just had Lola. Yeah, you know, we stay having babies and stay working. Hello. Anyway.
You know, you know what your name is, young Ola.
Yeah, that's her mom. How many kids your mama got?
6. I'm the last of the 6.
Right. And I have 6. Right. She always used to tease me. You ain't nothing but our oldest. She come to my house. We be frying chicken and making potato salad and crocheting.
You know, Actually, Cherie, it was and I know you know it was endearing. You know, it was I admired you because my mother, you know, with 6 kids, and you know, for most of my life, what I've known her do is to be involved in music. You know, to support a family on music, and you know, and I know, as I speak about the industry all the time, when it's up, it's up. When it's down. In between time, you know, it's challenging. So, particularly at that time when she did it with 6 kids and. My father is also a musician also, but they divorced when I was very young. But my mother kept on licking and kept on ticking. You know what I'm saying? So that I saw you do that too. So that's why, you know, I would always do the comparison.
There for it all, girl. We had 4 kids with Lola Blake. No, not Lola Blake. That was later. But Paris, Dorian, Devin, and Isaiah. The 4. Yeah. Hey, Danny. I'm looking at people come on in. Yes, Danny, we remember the cold, girl. Woo! Danny's out there with you in Atlanta. Die hard fan. Yeah.
Hey, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. Hello.
She in Atlanta. She don't sleep on the soul, baby. She knows all of the babies, honey. Yep. So, tell me a little bit about a little bit more of your transition from your record deal, because I think everybody has a story about the record deal, and it maybe I don't really know what happened with yours. We didn't really talk about.
I had an idea, but I found out years later from someone who actually worked in the office, from 2 people who were connected to the man sitting next to the man sitting next to the man. We got it was some personal internal stuff, you know, from some upper echelon that had nothing to do with Trina. It just so happens that I was you know, I happened to be caught in the crossfire. You know, I don't want to name names out of respect,
right?
But you know, the change in the guard, you know, marriages that was involved in it, just a lot of, and it was, and I'm the green girl who was sitting on the side who got invited to the party. It was like it was a matter of choosing sides, you know, and I didn't understand it, you know, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, it just didn't work. You know, I wasn't the first, the last to be dropped on my label, but it was kind of disheartening. We had gotten to the point where we were ready to release, and we got this letter that I think I got a phone call and said that had been dropped, and we were waiting. And what I will say about Jermaine, Jermaine really didn't have control of it because Jermaine was trying to take the album to another distribution spot to Arista instead of Columbia because there was a lot of internal stuff going on there from the top, middle. There was a lot of stuff going on. So Jermaine just said, if you could just hold on, I'll take it to. I think Jermaine was trying to take it over to Clive Davis to Arista to do another production deal. It's been so long ago, but what did it end up happening with the record? That album was placed in billboards. I was number 99, the best record.
Yeah.
And that's something I was top 100. I was 99. The best record to not come out. It's okay though. It's okay because personally, there was a lot of things going on in my life that I wasn't quite used to doing, and I think everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
And you talk about transparency and putting it on the table. I think it was kind of God's way of saying, you know what, let me save you real quick because you're not quite ready.
Right.
And it's to admit that. So there was some things I was dabbling into. I needed to kind of like fall back on a little bit.
So, what advice would you give background singers or people that are aspiring to be independent artists? What's some advice you would give, or what's your takeaway? That's a good one. What's your takeaway?
Let me explain where I am, and it's kind of hard. And I'm going to give you the word for the artist, the inspiring artist, and the word from where I am. I was one of those who kind of took a break from it. We talk about this.
Oh yeah,
I took a break from it. I was singing backup for Rasan. As far as when the deal was gone, I was still singing backup for different artists. But as far as the solo thing, I wasn't really interested. I definitely took a back seat. And I will say this: if you're going to do it, it's work. Like everything else, it's work. It's work. You gotta like it. What worked for me may not work for you. Some days I feel like it, some days I don't, and that's something to be proud of. I mean, but I think everybody goes through that. But I took a break from it. But if you're gonna do it, learn your music. Blend is everything. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. I mean,
we're still on the mind your business and your purpose.
Yeah. And what I mean by that is, it's a job. Go do your job. Come home. And don't expect to always be friendly with them. I mean, not that the artists aren't friendly with everything, but that's not don't go in with the expectation I'm going to be cool with artists. Just go in and do your job. Go to work. That's it.
That's good.
Have fun. Like what you're doing. And at the same given time, don't compromise what you're doing either. Do things that you can say yes to, things that you can be proud of. Say yes to things that you can be proud of. And that was my problem, doing things that I didn't really like to do. And I always say this as a joke, but I'm serious. I am what you consider a recovering yes man. I no longer say yes to things when I mean no. And again, do your homework. Do your homework. Listen to different artists. Listen to different tones, different textures. Blend is everything. And just, I've had a few blunders. Stay professional.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think that's different between the generation before us of singers and us and the new generation? What's different for you?
What's different for me is I would like to hear songs. And what I mean by that is, to me, everybody kind of sounds alike. I want to hear tones. I think it's great to have the acrobatic skills of a run. You got some people that can run for days. But I always say this, for me, running is a feeling. It's a place. It's almost like when you catch the Holy Ghost hot, if you feel it, but it shouldn't be a whole line of a song, I mean, sometimes it's almost like cheating. It's the difference. Then we were coming up listening. We got to listen to everybody had their different things. Shaka, Natalie, Aretha. Everybody had their own thing. You could distinctly tell who was who. And not to take anything away from the new folk, because it's some singers out here today.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Some singers out here. But I don't think they get a chance to be stretched. You know what I'm saying? As far as even if either way a song is structured, it's just different now. I mean, back then I listened to folks like Jennifer Holliday coming up,
Mm-hmm.
that first album, with the album with I Am Love on it. I listened to the Emotions. I listened to
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Bryan, who was
Ooh,
Atlantic Star. Just different
yes.
tones and textures. I listened to Phoebe Snow. There was a host of things to pull from, and everybody just had a different take on it. Even down to the male. The males.
The
We
men,
listened
yeah.
to
Luther.
Marvin Gaye had his thing. Donny
Mm-hmm.
Hathaway had his thing.
Yep.
Moving forward, Babyface had his thing. Everybody had a different thing. Everybody had a different thing. But not to take anything away from the generation. What I will say about them is, what I will say about this new generation, not that we weren't and not that the ones before us weren't either, but they're not waiting for anybody to tell them what to do. They're definitely making it happen. These kids are
Oh,
far advanced, but they know how to edit their own
they
videos.
got
They
some
know how to
passion
record
though.
their own stuff. I mean, they're putting the entire package together. So I will give them that. They are definitely some entrepreneurs and some hustlers, as they would say. Definitely, they're definitely that. They're go-getters. They're not afraid. It's great to see a lot of the young girls putting together workshops,
Yep.
musical workshops. I mean, they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. And I do believe that some of the stuff I'm saying, they've been saying it in the workshops too, based on their experience that they're having too. So to see that is great. There's a great camaraderie between a lot of the younger artists that I see. They work together. They do a lot of different things together. But again, going back to the workshops and stuff, I think that's great. They're hustlers, they're entrepreneurs. They're doing, besides singing, they have other things on the side that they can make money from that's related
Mm-hmm.
to singing, which is,
Yep.
you know,
Without managers, actually, when you said they're hustlers.
right.
Yeah, because I think from our era, we had people doing things for us. A lot of,
Okay.
in a lot of instances, most of us did. And so um, between most of us, we had people like our schedules, getting our money, that
Mm-hmm.
whole type thing. So
Right.
the kids today, they got it.
Yeah,
they, you know.
absolutely. Right. Right.
Okay, so you have any do's and don'ts? Do's and don'ts for
Um,
background singers, just real quickly.
do. If it's something when in doubt, ask.
Right.
Uh, do. Do. Don't. Um,
I call it cat
even,
etiquette.
even if you are close to the artist, don't disrespect the craft and not do the job. And that's just from experience, from me. Obviously Rasan and a few other people I've been close to. It because it is so close and personal. You still have a job to do. Just always show up and do your job. Period. 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 Do your
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. We were talking about transitions. You said earlier about there was
And
a
excuse me,
time.
uh,
Go ahead.
another don't get so comfortable to think that because they are loyal to you that you're so good that you can't be replaced.
First of
Always
all,
know that.
first of
Don't
all,
ever think that it can happen to you, and it's nothing personal. Artists have a right to change their mind, and usually artists do when they're growing. They decide to shift. No artists stay with the same people, but never think that you're so good that it can't happen to you. And they may say one day, you know what, I want to go in a different direction. Just don't think it can't happen.
well, okay. So how are you coping with COVID? How is that affecting you as an artist? Because I know you travel, you still do background singing, but you also are an artist in your own right. So you still move it around.
Right.
So how's that affecting you with touring and stuff like that during your shows?
Well, it stopped. We actually were we as in Rasan, Rare, and Tommy, we all flew to London right when the
Mm-hmm.
COVID was right about to shut the country down. We went to London, and it was I actually had some apprehensions, but I'm glad I went. As far as that, after that, everything shut down. How am I coping? Day by day. It's a host of other things going on. And I was conversing with a friend the other day who realized that she had been working. She's working from home, and she had been working so much. And she had mentioned that it was so much more work from home than it was being at the actual workplace. And the day before she was crying. She said, I didn't even realize, I just got the phone with my mother. I didn't even realize tomorrow was Mother's Day. And she just said, I said, listen, and this is a fact. What is factual right now? What we're dealing with, everybody, whether you're a singer, whether you're somebody who had a job down at the hotel, whether you're somebody who worked for the airlines, what is factual? This is not normal. This is not normal, what we're dealing with. This is not normal. So if you have to take a moment to decompress, or to release, or to cry, if you feel there's a sense of confusion, every emotion is valid. Every emotion is valid. Everything is, again, we are all trying to keep our composure. I mean, not that I'm sitting around here worried, but it's different. It's different. So you got to find different ways to, for me, stay creatively sane. I just invested in some, my sister, thank you. I just invested in some equipment so I can sit here and record and do a live that's coming up soon.
Yes.
Just to kind of keep my, again, as I mentioned, just trying to stay creatively sane, just trying to stay creatively sane. That's it. But coping day by day. I had a friend who I was very close to for many years, since the 8th, 9th grade, grieving too, just trying to deal with that. A lot of time at home to like rest, because really didn't have a chance to deal with it because we were moving so much, we were traveling so much, between going back and forth to Houston, seeing him, working, moving. Life was still happening around his illness, but I never really had a chance to stop and grieve. But I finally was able to release a couple of weeks ago, and I'm confident in my spirit that whatever is going on, or whatever the agenda is behind all of this, I just don't believe that we as a people have come this far for this just to just be over. I just don't believe that.
Right. Exactly.
I just don't.
Exactly. Yep. So with that being said, Miss Trina, how do you feel that you are minding your own purpose?
I am minding my own purpose by recognizing my flaws, and working on them. I've done some work. There's still some other things I need to work on, and not beating myself up like I used to before. I turned 50 in October. I'm not afraid to talk about my age. And, there's something about when you, I don't want to say get old, I want to say grown. It's certain things that you let roll off your back like water. They just don't matter anymore. You take a moment to recognize things that really matter. Like I have a beautiful garden that's here on my property, and it has like property. It has like mint leaves, pomegranate trees, sage. And so I take the time to get up in the morning and just go stand out there and listen to the birds. And I would say that since COVID has happened, the birds have been communicating. They up at 3:30 in the morning like it's a block party. And,
it's true.
But it's fatal. But you take. I think there's a line from The Color Purple where Suge says to Celia, I think it pisses God off to walk by something and not acknowledge it. So when I see butterflies flying by me and I see this red cardinal that comes and that's been coming to my window every day, that's been sitting on the trees watching me, I finally looked it up and it says, the red bird represents someone who has passed and they're with you. So as confident to know, to just take time to sit back and just relax and let things roll off your back. Like, things that used to matter don't matter no more. The tedious things.
So good. Well, since you're talking about lines, if anybody heard me say you are not going to worry my Jerry curl today, that would be this one right here. This is where I got it from. She had some lines. The Mississippi, we be tired. You said the Mississippi Mass Up Choir is about to be seated on my eyelid. Cherie, we got to go. Let's hang up. This is where I got it from 20 years ago. And I have not left it since. She has some great sayings. A Southern Belle, I call her. Yeah. So, you all, anybody have any questions? What was it? Oh, who was that? Who asked that? Oh, Ruth. She wants to know what was the most fun project or tour that you ever worked on.
I would say it's so funny. Rasan called me the other night. We were on the phone cracking up. 2:00 when we talked about a tour that we did when we went to Amsterdam. We would go and do the North Sea Jazz Festival. What was funny about it is we all left from LA and our bag were lost for like 3 or 4 days. So we were wearing the same clothes. But as crazy as it was, it was a chain of events, but we had a ball. We had a ball. I would have to say, and but Cherie, the project that we did, Rare, we did April's Kids, and
Oh my gosh.
those songs.
We won't even talk about that session. That session was bananas. He was in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Rare laughing in the track. You guys have to listen to that. April's Kiss on After
Right.
Hours album. We did Find Myself too,
And
right?
Yeah.
Find Myself too.
Now, what I have to say, so when I went to, as I mentioned earlier, I took a break from all of it as far as doing the solo stuff. So back in 2015, I met two guys, Anthony Richardson and Corey Miller, who had approached me about doing some stuff for a compilation. And I was kind of apprehensive then. I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And he was like, well, I still think you got it. And so I went to Houston to work with my brother. My brother has a studio in Houston. He has a guy who he partners with that's next door to him also by the name of Bam Entertainment, who was hilarious. So I had a great time doing the project for Ado and Where I'm Supposed to Be and the song Forever. I really had a great time. I discovered some things about myself 20 years later of being in the industry, singing solo. I would say that was a fun project too. And again, I don't know if you want me to talk about Ado now, but I mentioned the Opie.
Yeah.
When I first got that track, I'm one of those people, if you send me a track and if I love it, I'm going to sleep with it. I literally have my headphones on and get in the bed and I sleep with the track on repeat. I sleep with it. And I kept hearing the hook first. I love you, it's true. I bid you adieu. And as I mentioned to you earlier, a lot of people thought that Ado was about ending a relationship with someone. But Ado was actually about, it wasn't about saying goodbye to a lover. It was saying goodbye to the old ways of Trina, not being afraid to step out for my craft more. Just a lot of personal stuff that went on in the background. A lot of doubt. Just got rid of that. Just kind of let all of that dissipate. But Ado was about Trina writing a letter to herself and saying goodbye to days. You listen to the lyrics. But it can be but for some other people, it touched them in a way to say goodbye to a relationship that they were dealing with someone. But for me, it was a letter that I wrote to myself, that I was writing to myself.
And y'all can hear about that letter on the CheriePatrice.com website because the song is up there. And I need y'all to go support my girl and show her some love. Hello. And not only that, we have our Cash App up there too. Y'all be a blessing to the mamas. Because, we out here. We're doing our thing. We're doing, our craft, what we love. And I'm so for independent artistry and the artist, so this is yet another platform to promote good singing, good music, Rasad's in the building.
Thank you. You up in there?
He in the building, girl.
I started to write on your thing today, Rasad, and said, go get it down.
We done found you out. We had a ball with Rasad. Child.
Yeah.
Yes, Pam, we are very comical. Who else is in the building? Tamisha Wadden? Is it waiting? Lola. L Boogie. Lolo Boogie. Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah. Anybody have any questions for Trina? She's gonna sing a little bit for y'all too. Y'all make sure y'all go. Now y'all know I can see who go on there and buy stuff. I want y'all to go buy single. I'm not playing. I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't do it. I can see you. I want to put her sales where our eyes could see, and it's going right to her. Put your sales eyes could see. No downloading. Come over there and support her. It'll be awesome. Who else? Somebody. I think it's a family member. Is it Sadie or Sadia? Broussard?
Toy. Hey, Toy.
Tori. Hey, Tori.
Her name is Sadia, which means Toy Pretty, and so we nicknamed her Toy for Mr. Rudy. Name. Hey, Toy.
Yeah, you want to sing a little bit for us, Ting? That's her nickname. Y'all don't get to call her Ting, just us. Let's sing a little bit of Ado for us.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
You gotta watch it because Ophi be trying to sing the whole song. She know the whole song. Let's be clear.
Can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a little
That's
bit.
just
Just
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit.
A little bit.
I waited all this time for you. Now I know where I'm going. I found another point of view. It's like free flowing water. Sometimes you gotta fight and try to let it go. When you deal it and heal it, much harder when you know you have to let it go. Still, it's so hard to bear. I love you, yeah, it's true. Oh, I love you, it's true. I really do. I waited all this time for you. No more running from the truth. No. Before I never really had a clue. Mountains high above the clouds. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta fight it, try to let it go. When you deal it and heal it, much harder when you know you have to let it go. Still, it's so hard to bear. Ooh, I love you. It's true. Hey, yeah. I love. It's true. Although my heart has been broken, words still unspoken, I still love you. Yeah. I gave my all with the promise, but love to be honest hurts too much. Yeah. Yeah. I love you. It's true. Lord.
Child, you killing it.
Oh, yeah, baby, it's oh so true. Oh, my heart has grown. There's so much left to explore. Yeah. All right, all right.
Girl, you was killing it. Oh my God, that tone. Y'all hear that tone? Yeah. Oh, we're in here losing it right now. You should hear us losing it completely. And Ophi's just gone at the moment. That was beautiful. Your tone is like, but I'm like, it's funny. Every time we get ready to sing, I was like, I hope she gonna sing soprano because she is like killing it. You killing it. I love you, Tim. That was amazing. So
let me tell you me together real quick. I have a story real quick. One of my favorite singers. Everybody who knows me knows that the Emotions is my all-time favorite singing group of all time. And I would tell that's coming up, listen to the Emotions. I mean, their blend is like what I consider like fruit punch. You know, you put all those different ingredients into the bowl. You got your pineapple, strawberries, whatever it is that makes a fruit punch. Once you put it all together, you drink it. It is refreshing. It is whatever your favorite thing is that when you go, that's just what they do for me. But important story. It was a holiday. Daniel Moore had hooked me up with this gig, and I was excited. We were doing "I Am Love," and I was like, "I'm taking the top." And when she gets, so
go and take it, sister.
So the background, my dreams come true, and it's you, and the back, here to stay. She said, you need to do alto. She said, it's in your head. She said, it's in your, but what she did, she lowered the key. She said, so see, now it's an alto and you can sing. I was like, she said, not that she didn't say I couldn't sing, but I just went there with the confidence, like, oh, I'm doing top on this because, you know, the Emotions did the background vocals. I think Shanice's mom and aunts did the backs on it too. I can't remember, but I just knew that I was going to do top on. I was like, I got this. But when I tried to hit that, I was like, she said, we're going to take this down and you're going to down cut. Jennifer Holiday got me together real good. And I love Jennifer Holiday. Love her.
Like no death.
Yeah.
No top of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the child back in the younger days would be like, I'm singing soprano. Just take the top. That's fine. I don't want it. But now today,
I got that part. You are here to stay. She said, you don't quite have it. Put the key down, and you can do the part. And that's what it was.
Yeah, you're a fan too. Y'all got to make. You're an Anita Baker fan too. You sing her songs really good.
Yeah.
Cover.
I love Anita Baker.
So Trina's going to be doing a live soon. Ooh, Kenneth's in the house. Hey, Ken. The MD is in the building. Bishop is in the building.
Oh, hi. I don't say it. Don't say clack. Please don't say clack on here. You know, Kenneth had this thing. When we talked about going overseas, Kenneth was with us, so I had these flip-flops, these sandals. So every time we would hop out of the van, my foot would hit the ground, and Kenneth would always say clack. I was like, so every time he gets a chance, he always writes clack. So, hey, Kenneth, I miss you.
Kenneth, Shelly's in the house. Hey, Shelly James, that's my girl. Who else? Yeah, who else is in here? Let's see. Lynn too. Lynn Murphy, my girl. Lynn.
Okay, I thought you said McKellen.
No,
we call McKellen.
Miss Kellen. This is y'all have any questions for us? We love y'all. We miss y'all so much. We have so many stories, like years of stories. Marita, my girl's in the building. Marita loves you, girl. We talk.
Hey, we talk.
Yeah, she loves you. Let's see. Okay, that's how we met singers. No, who is that? Did Marita say that? Oh, Ruth. That must have been. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was funny. We tried. We're both though had to sing soprano, and it was just not. Oh yeah, Shelly has mad contralto.
If you hear that noise, they're still outside popping firecrackers. Give it up. It's over. Okay, back to the regular schedule.
Leisha's in the building. Y'all got some questions for my girl before we go? Yes, you did almost miss this, Marita. Let me stay with it. I'm moving around. I'm looking. Who else? Yeah. This is so good and refreshing. And Ting, we keep up with each other. And we've been on the phone for what, 2-3 hours? Chop, laughing and carrying on.
Giving each other encouragement. You're like, Ting, you need to get this equipment. You need to get this. What you got? Sending me pictures of this, the latest of this. And, you know, just encourage. You pray for me. I appreciate that. You know, just, you know.
Thank you. Yeah,
you know the ups and downs. You know it all.
Hey. We done moved. Somebody doing ice, you know, and I need that people to stop doing ice in the kitchen. You know, I'm being super ghetto right now, but I'm gonna need them. Y'all know I'm on kids right now.
Right outside the door.
I'm gonna get this mama right now. It's in the kitchen. Okay.
I can't hear it though.
Yeah, but we can. Anyway, who's that? Brianna? Brianna, hey. Shelly, anybody have any more questions?
Hey, boy. That's my niece, Brianna. My lovely niece, B.
My mama's on here. Mama Shar. My mama, she said she gonna send you an offering. Amen. To the Cash App. Baby, put the Cash App up there. And you know, shout out to Ophi, who's co-executive producer with me, and Mr. Nye Brown, who is also producing.
Thank you, Nye.
Some pictures. We have some pictures of we have one with me, Rasan, and Trina. I think the last time I toured with you guys was like in 2014. Probably that was a transition. Oh, that's Jamie. Can you see the pictures, Trina?
Jamie. Rasan. Yeah.
And see, we have one of What you got? Oh, that's Nicole. That was us in 2001 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Nicole Beach, my sister, my counselor.
Shout out to Nicole. Charlie, there we are. There's Trey. Trey Lorenz is from, he sings with Mariah. That nut. He got no good sense. Yeah, we're trying to get him on here too. He's going to come hang out with us. We have, people are telling us to sing together. That is not rock. That is not happening right now because we don't want no delays. We want to be able to feel each other. So she going to sing on her side.
No, let's just try to do something real quick. You think it's going to be a delay?
That I'm gonna.
Which one are you taking? I'm taking top.
You know I'm gonna take the middle. You know I'm not about to get the top.
1, 2, 3. Wait. No matter what the weather
is. Can't wait to see you. See you here again. Mm-hmm. See, I like this one work. Kiss. I love it. And you know we ain't singing in the right key either. You know, reciters have it
we're not
right now. We are not singing in the right key. Again. Are we together? Can't wait to face again. I can't hear you. I love it. I love it. Ooh, I love it. You can't hear me, huh?
Yes, again.
I love it. I love it. We're in the wrong key, I'm telling you. I love it. I revel in. Are we saying the right words? Da, da, da. It's so long.
Let's stop right now. You don't kill it. Because I'm going to have to hit phone. No, that's a shame. Let's stop.
What'd you say,
But you still here?
Who? Oh, there's Rhoda. What'd you say?
I was asking if her son was still in here.
You know, he texted us right now, telling us to stop.
Okay.
That session was so much fun.
You can't remember that.
Well, you know, y'all can catch that one. That's what album is that? After Hours. We have those were live sessions, and I don't think I've been a part of a live session. Not so many, but we worked. It was so much fun. So Trina, let's talk about your albums. We have Love Jones soundtrack. You have what's the first album?
First album was supposed to be the album that never came out. That was with So Deaf.
Can they get?
But it was released in on Expansion Records in the UK by a guy by the name of Ralph T. And it did pretty good. I think about 2 or 3 years later, maybe 4 years later. And then from there, I moved on to Motown. The name of that Motown girl. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, same.
And once we got caught in the middle of the changing of the guard, Sylvia Rhone, what is it? Kidar Massenberg at the time was at Motown. And then a changing of the guard came with Sylvia Rhone, and Sylvia Rhone said, "Nah, we don't really need her." So next, so I just kept pressing. After that, that's when I really stopped and just started doing a lot of background work. Kind of stopped the whole solo recording thing because the industry was changing. A lot of different things were occurring, and I just kind of was like, okay, and I don't have to put up with the front stuff. I'll just stay in the back for a minute, and that's what I did. And I've been enjoying it. I enjoyed it, you know.
Wow.
Came Ado. As I mentioned, R&B Moguls. There was a song we first started with this song called Forever, and the working relationship went so well they came back and said they're interested in doing more songs because it was only supposed to be one for their compilation. So we ended up doing 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Where It's Supposed to Be was the last song that we did, which is my testimony. Anything you want to know, just listen to the song. Anything you want to know about me being in the industry and my last 20 plus 30 years being in it, it explains the story, how I started and where I am presently with it in my life as far as the industry and life period.
So what can we hear from you? What can we expect from you next? Besides your live that's coming up.
We have a live coming up. I will give you the I will give you the flyer for it once it's done. We're working on that. We have a live coming. We have a couple of singles coming also. One starting with it's called No Pressure. And just and I have some other stuff that I'm dibbling into also, script writing. Mm-hmm.
Script writing. Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. We're more than background singers. We have a plethora of things happen. We can talk about the script writing.
Well, before I was singing, I was an actress. Before I really got serious about singing, I was an actress in high school under the direction of my wonderful theater arts teacher, Miss Sandra Shelton. We would go to do these different contests everywhere. We would win state with different plays that we would do. It was like major competition for us with the schools in the state of. We would go to Austin every year. As a matter of fact, the state was in Austin. We would drive from Houston to Austin every year for state, and we would win. I was my high school's best actress, so I kind of want to dibble and dabble a little bit back into acting, but more so probably behind the scenes of writing scripts and stuff. I got two that I've been working on. One is loosely based on the story of my mother's life a little bit. Popular spot she used to work at in Houston. It's also the background and the backdrop of the lady who owned the place. It was a very interesting character, very good. I mean, but just she was a pillar in the community. Everybody loved and respected her. So I'm working on that and a few other things.
Okay. So we are. It's time for us to wrap up. But again, I really appreciate you coming and sharing your experience and your gift with us and singing. You blessed us, girl. Y'all, look, I'm going to look to see if y'all when they got her. I can't wait to turn my phone on so I can get these notifications to see who's been over there. I don't care if let me not yell at the people. I can't fuss at the people, but I'm passionate about supporting independent artistry, man. Because we work very hard. And it's not, too often that you get a platform, and we find it is hard. We're there to do a job, and so we don't really get a chance because we are trying to working to make a living. We don't get to sit in that time to develop and promote and things like that. So, y'all, please stop by. We'll put the link up again, and it's in my link in bio as well. But make sure you're following Trina as well on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. Do you have a YouTube, Trina?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and you looking like everything ain't together. Go follow her anyway. Okay? Because she got some great stuff coming. All right? So there's the link there. Y'all, thank y'all so much for joining us. And to see anybody that we didn't get to say hi to. Replying to Ophi. Playing. Okay.
Tell us about the single.
Okay.
Thank you,
single?
Where I'm supposed to be.
She's saying hi. She's saying thank you to you. What do you want for where I'm supposed to be? Did you want me to ask her else?
Yeah, that's where I'm supposed to be.
Where I'm supposed to be? You want to know about the single? Where can we find Where I'm Supposed to Be, Trina?
Where I'm supposed to be on all digital platforms, Google Play, iTunes, on all digital platforms. You can download it.
All right. All right. See? Mr. Brown done found it. You already up there, girl. He popped you up there. All right. Well,
this was great.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Ting. Trina, to y'all. I'll have everybody calling her Ting.
And you get a chance to go and purchase Cherie's Deep Tight.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think the crew on here has it already. Thank you so much for that. That was nice. All right. So I'm going to... All right. Bye, Ting. Till next time. See y'all next week with Melanie Daniels. Y'all tune in next week. Same time. Yep, Melanie's next. Melanie Daniels Walker.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. there's Michelle.